Today is Friday, March 31st, and we're going to go around the bases with our MLB insider, Jon Heyman. And Jon, we had opening day yesterday where all 30 ball clubs were playing. How you doing, man?
I'm good. It was a great opening day. Lots of interesting stuff happened.
You telling me. I mean, it was awesome to see all the teams in action. It's one of my favorite days of the year. Jon, let's get started with the New York Mets. Yesterday was their opening day against the Miami Marlins. Obviously, it went well. They got the win. Max Scherzer looked good. But there was the news right before the game. We got of Justin Verlander, their highly priced ace that they acquired in the offseason. He's going to start the season on IL. What did you make of that news yesterday?
Well, it certainly was a disappointing way to start the day, which ended very nicely with a Mets victory 5-3. But certainly do not like to see that. Obviously, they had acquired him to take Jake DeGrom's spot. And DeGrom, while he'd been a great pitcher, had been somewhat unreliable the last couple of years in terms of being able to pitch. They didn't feel this was going to be the case with Verlander in any way, shape, or form. Looking at his history, very tough guy, very resilient, has not had a big injury history, did have the Tommy John a couple of years ago, led the American League in ERA last year, certainly is 40 years old, but, they didn't feel there were going to be any worries, and just a rough way to start with that strain in the near the shoulder, not the shoulder muscle, but near the armpit, and he's going to have to miss a couple starts, and he doesn't think it's going to be too long. He's still able to play catch, keep his arm going, but certainly a disappointing bit of news right before the game.
Now, Jon, real quick, just to follow up there, you were in the locker room post-game yesterday talking to some of the players in the clubhouse. What was the sense you got from both the team and obviously Buck himself? Do you sense there's a little bit of not so much panic, but is there a cause for concern with the injuries are piling up here now for the Mets?
Yeah, it's been rough. I mean, they have $73 million on the injured list right now with the Diaz and Quintana also out. So the guys who are remaining are going to have to step up. Tyler McGill will be called up and will take at least two starts for Verlander. But still, I mean, the Mets have the best rotation in baseball at full strength. Now that they're not at full strength, they're missing two key pieces. It's still good. Peterson was really good in spring training. Obviously, Senga is quite a talent. And, you've got Max Scherzer, who pitched last night or yesterday. And I think he looked good. I mean, I saw there were mixed reviews. He had that one rough inning, but certainly good to have him going as well. They're not going to panic. Obviously, there are going to be injuries throughout the year. This does not look like an ultra serious one. It's serious in the sense that it's right away, and it's a guy who's on his way to the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I think there's just a lot of emotions when you're going into opening day. Everyone's so excited, and spring, they say hope springs eternal. And I think a lot of fans were looking forward to yesterday, and that just put a little bit of a damper on it. But let's pivot here to the next story, Jon, and let's talk about the New York Yankees. Anthony Volpe, the highly touted prospect, made his MLB debut yesterday in front of all the Yankee fans and might have gotten the biggest ovation of all, even more than Aaron Judge. A lot of Yankees fans were excited to see this kid play. He had a stolen base yesterday. He looked the part. But there's a little bit of backstory here when it came to Anthony Volpe and how he became a New York Yankee. What more can you tell us about how the team all the way across the country and the Dodgers might have made a mistake in not taking Anthony Volpe?
Yeah, I mean, if they did, it's certainly a rare mistake. And right now, I'm sure they have some regret about it. He was one of the three players that they considered at pick number 25. They had 25 and they had 31. So interesting that Volpe went 30th. They weren't certain they were going to be able to sign him. They heard a couple of conflicting reports. One was that he would consider only the Yankees or Dodgers. That was been good for them. Or the other is that he was going to Vanderbilt. Well, obviously he didn't go to Vanderbilt. He ended up signing with the Yankees. He is a New Yorker, born in New York, raised in New Jersey. His family are Yankee fans, both doctors living in Watchung. And, we don't know if he would have signed with the Dodgers ultimately or decided to go to Vanderbilt. But certainly they probably have a little bit of regret. And this is a team that makes almost no mistakes, but I'm sure that they wonder if they had taken Volpe now that he's a 21-year-old starter, possibly the most prestigious position for the most prestigious team at age 21. They got to wonder whether they made a mistake. They took a third baseman at Tulane with that 25th pick. Then ended up taking Michael Busch with number 31, who's an infielder out of North Carolina. Busch looks like a prospect, not on the Volpe level, but a good prospect. The pick 25, Hosey, so far has not panned out. Don't want to give up on anybody. He's only 25 years old, but he's at Double-A at this point, and you got to wonder. But the Yankees did a great job. I mean, that's really the story. Damon Oppenheimer made the pick. Jim Hendry went to the family and said, you'll be a high pick again if you go to Vanderbilt, I'm sure, but we may not be able to get you. And the family loves the Yankees, and Volpe does too. And, I talked to Volpe about it, and he said that there were sleepless nights, and it was a super, three supers, tough decision for him, even Yankees versus Vanderbilt. But I'm sure he's quite happy with his decision.
Yeah, I think it was just awesome to see that moment of him kissing the logo, going to the bleacher creatures, giving the wave. He definitely got a really great ovation from the fans, and the fans were loving it yesterday. And obviously a great Yankees win yesterday on opening day. John, let's go to our next topic. Juan Soto, San Diego Padres. Obviously, they acquired him last year in a big trade. He still is under control by the San Diego Padres, but the Padres are big spenders lately, and they haven't signed Juan Soto to an extension yet. My question to you is could the San Diego Padres be looking to make a play for that big ticket free agent in Shohei Ohtani, who's coming this offseason?
Well, they certainly could be looking to make a play for Ohtani. They've gone for just about everybody big, including Soto, who they gave up 5 big prospects for. I certainly wouldn't rule out that they're going to re-sign or sign Soto. It was a little surprising that here, with 2 years to go before he's a free agent, they didn't try this spring after they had kind of made some noise that they were going to do so. And frankly, they gave up 5 great prospects for him. And I still think they're going to try to re-sign Soto, but I'm just wondering, speculating here about Ohtani, probably not even speculation, because the Padres go for every big player, and this is a player who's really obviously an all-time great already, exceptional, unicorn, they say, and one of the best pitchers in the game, one of the best sluggers in the game. And my feeling is they're still going to try for Soto, and they probably will try for Ohtani as well. But it was a little surprising that they didn't make a play this spring to keep Soto long term.
Yeah, definitely going to be something to keep an eye on this offseason. Obviously, the Shohei Ohtani sweepstakes are going to be one of the biggest things talked about in baseball, obviously. Let's finish all this up, John. Your biggest takeaway from opening day. All 30 teams obviously played yesterday. What did you take away from yesterday?
Well, I mean, Judge and Ohtani off to great starts. Again, we may have that 2-man race for the MVP. Again, obviously, it's only one game. We're not even 1% of the way through the season. But last year, we had that debate, whether it's Judge or Ohtani. Judge won out rather handily. Ohtani only got the 2 votes from the Anaheim or Los Angeles contingent, whatever you want to call it. And Judge got all the rest of the votes for MVP. Certainly with his team doing well. I expect the Angels to be good too this year, as well as the Yankees. I expect them both to be playoff teams, and I expect these 2 guys to again fight for the MVP, provided they both stay healthy. Fingers crossed on that. But both are all-time talents, and the Judge hitting that home run on the second pitch that he saw, incredible, off the 62 home run season. So amazing for him. He also had another RBI, and Ohtani calling his own pitches, 6 shutout innings, 10 strikeouts. I mean, both off to incredible starts. Of course, Yankees won, Angels lost, which was kind of a theme last year, where the Yankees were in the playoffs and kind of made that debate, kind of dampened the debate a bit, because it was pretty clear that since Judge was leading his team to 99 wins and a division title, and the Angels were and also ran again, that Judge should be the MVP, and was. But as I said, I think the Angels are going to be better this year. And these are 2 all-time great talents, and we're very lucky to have them both playing at the same time.
Definitely something to take away there. Those 2 are definitely going to be chasing for the MVP again this year. My biggest takeaway was, without a doubt, the pace of play. The games are going quicker. You noticed it already yesterday, and I think a lot of fans are already enjoying that. John, thank you so much for going around the bases with me, man.
All right. Thanks a lot, Ryan.